Welcome back to the AllMotorSports Podcast. I'm Jimmy, and today we're breaking down what just went down at the 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix. Strap in because this one was wild. Big race, even bigger fallout, and a title fight now more alive than ever. So let's dive in. Las Vegas GP weekend, winners and losers. So, Vegas under the neon lights was always going to be a real spectacle. Max Verstappen drove brilliantly, overtaking Lando Norris on the first corner and never looking in danger of losing his place at the front. This was very much a dominant race for Max, showcasing both pace and composure, eventually crossing the line in a well-deserved first position. Lando Norris initially looked good too. He qualified on pole with a flawless lap but came unstuck at the first corner in his attempts to cut off Max, resulting in him having to battle hard for second place against the Mercedes of George Russell, who he finally overcame to come home second on the track. But in classic F1 drama, that result never stuck. George Russell delivered a solid drive, climbing to second on the revised result and proving Mercedes still know how to pounce when things fall their way. Kimi Antonelli also had a strong weekend, who I thought should have won Driver of the Day. Not taking anything away from Max, who won it. Kimi charged through the field, managing his tyres perfectly until the end to finish with a second podium in a row after penalties and reshuffles. As for Oscar Piastri, it was yet another disappointing weekend, although he did recover well from a first corner incident with his Anzac brother, Liam Lawson, fighting back to finish fourth, only to lose his place after both he and Norris were disqualified. Why? Excessive skid block wear on their cars. Didn't meet mandated minimum thickness, according to the FIA. Andrea Stella, McLaren team principal, later apologised, citing unexpected bottoming out during the race, but more of that later. That call shook up everything. The disc handed victory fully to Verstappen and promoted Russell to second and Kimi to third. So, how does the championship picture look after Vegas? Here's where things stand after the dust settled. Lando Norris still leads the Drivers' Championship with 390 points, but his advantage has tightened significantly. Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen are now both sitting on 366 points, so that's a 20-point swing almost overnight, with just 2 races left, Qatar and Abu Dhabi, and 58 points still up for grabs. This title fight is very much alive. So, what's happening in the paddock, and what did we learn from Las Vegas? Starting with McLaren. No one saw this coming, yet the signs were there late in the race that the team was managing something. Both Oscar and Lando slowed significantly towards the end of the race. Firstly, Oscar struggled to overtake Antonelli, who was driving with tyres 20 laps older than Piastri, and late in the race he dropped off the pace to finish over a second behind Kimi. Similarly, Lando's pace dropped significantly on the final lap, conceding over 10 seconds to Russell, who was in third place. Now, commentators initially thought Piastri had a tyre graining issue and Lando was conserving fuel. Little did everyone think that McLaren were dealing with bigger issues. As we all now know, McLaren were trying to manage wear on the plank of both cars, to no avail, and both cars were disqualified. A massive misstep in the context of the championship. Team principal Andrea Stella, as said previously, issued a public apology saying it wasn't intentional, but the title consequences are real. Meanwhile, Verstappen's camp is celebrating his win, and combined with the disqualification drama, it handed him a welcome lifeline. He clearly executed when it counted, and now his title hopes are back in play. Fortune definitely favoured the Brave this weekend. And for Mercedes, another silver lining weekend. Russell converted his good start into P2 and providing a massive morale booster, and they're positioning Mercedes as spoilers in the title fight, especially if McLaren cracks further. Where might the championship end up? Well, looking ahead, next up is Qatar, a circuit with sprint format implications and high stakes. If Norris wants to lock in the title, he's going to have to manage the pressure better than he did in Vegas. Piastri, on the other hand, he needs to bounce back and bounce back big. A big win there could swing things again. And what about Max? He's got his momentum now. He'll need perfect execution, but his resurgence means he's not out of this. Not by a long shot. In my view, Norris is still favourite. but it's now far from a sure thing. A small mistake, a mechanical issue, or another regulatory drama could hand the title to someone who's clawed their way back in. Well, that's a wrap on the 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix, a race that could be the tipping point for the Drivers' Championship. I cannot wait to see this Drive to Survive post-race interviews in 2026. In fact, I cannot wait for this entire season to be released. So much drama and intrigue. As always, if you enjoy this episode, hit subscribe, leave a comment below on who you think takes the title, Norris, Piastri, or Verstappen. I'll be back with a full preview of Qatar and everything you need to know. Until then, keep your engines roaring and your eyes on the apex, and be careful of porpoising.